Hello, everyone. I am none of the people that you see. I am represented by that small demi-penguin ghost avatar. And welcome to Helpful Goat Celebrates Pride 2022. It's our last game of Pride. We always love it, and it always goes by so quickly. Before I turn things over to your wonderful GM Nix and the stars of tonight, a few quick announcements. First and foremost, this is Helpful Goat Gaming. I'm doing well. Helpful Goat Gaming, we are a small independent game design and game content creation community. If you would like to join the heart of that community, !Discord in the chat gets you a link to join our Discord. It's a great place. It's a very supportive, loving community, and we also do all kinds of events. We do internal streams. We do movie nights, game days. We just watched some Gravity Falls. Rachel reads to us in an attempt to cure our literacy. Mixed success so far. Some of us are getting better. But yeah, it's a wonderful place. Absolutely. Please come check that out if you are so inclined. We try to stream multiple times a week here, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. If you'd like to get notified when we go live, click the follow button, totally free. And if you'd like to support us, you can do that a variety of ways. You can sub to us here on Twitch using either a paid sub, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free with Twitch Prime. Those don't renew automatically at the end of every month, but if you have an Amazon Prime account and you like any form of content here on Twitch, we really encourage you to use that, especially on a smaller or a mid-sized streamer, because it makes a huge difference starting out. If you'd like to just donate directly to us, !coffee, KO-FI in the chat gets you the link to our Coffee page, where you can support us doing more of this, having more sparkly video backgrounds, better equipment, no more professionalism, because that's not who we are. But it's greatly appreciated, any support you can give. And lastly, if you'd like some merch with your support, !merch in the chat gets you a link to our merch shop, where you can get wonderful pieces designed by Helpful Goat artists, and all of the profits for that go to support Helpful Goat and the artists who produce the items. So we really appreciate you checking out any and all of those. Stream coming up for next week, I have no idea. I'm actually not sure. I think we might be taking a week off because we have a lot of people traveling. But coming up very soon, we will have a new tier campaign. I believe there are rumblings that Spire will be restarting, and there will be more Fates of Rin pretty soon. So give us a follow, hang around, and we will have more information to y'all real soon. The last thing, incredibly important to us here at Helpful Goat, !donate. As we come to the last game of Pride and we come sort of to the end of Pride Month, we continue to highlight LGBTQIA+ charities. The link there provides you a list of about, I think, 150 charities classified by sort of advocacy focus, groups particularly focused on geographic regions, etc. So we encourage you to go check those out. And also, given the news recently, we are also posting a link to an abortion fund supporting everyone being able to live safe and healthy life with the ability to define their own paths and make their own decisions about their healthcare. So please, if you have time, resources, both economic and emotional, check out those links. Donate if you can. And as always, we encourage you to, if you find a cause or a particular element of any of these causes that appeals to you, check to see if you've got a local charity doing that, because donations to local charities support most of the work that's actually done on the ground, and they have a much harder time fundraising. So, with that, I believe I am all done here. So I will turn it over to the far more exciting Nix. Take it away, y'all.
Hello, I'm Nix. Gonna be playing iHunt today, which is hunting monsters in the gig economy. So that's basically all I'm gonna say on that. So like I said, I'm Nix. I use any pronouns, and I'll pass it over to Lena. I don't know which way it is.
Yeah, I can't, like, my stream video is so small, I have no idea what direction things are either. But hi, I'm Lena. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm very, very excited to play this. Am I supposed to introduce my character or just me? Just me, right?
You can introduce your character. Go ahead.
Okay. And my character is Katya Crowley. She is a 34-year-old occultist who her real job is working as a working in a bookstore in retail, and she hates it. But it is at least a metaphysical bookstore. So even though the customers are terrible and awful and her manager sucks, she gets to spend any downtime, mostly when there's not other people around, trying to talk to ghosts and summon demons and get those demons to, do horrible things for her. So far, it hasn't worked out, but she's working on it. She's really working on it. And she started doing iHunt because she needed the extra income. So she is now also a monster hunter in her free time.
I think Catherine is below Lena. Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine, she, her pronouns. And today I'm playing Becca Banks, a canine care technician at Central Park Doggy Daycare by day and an iHunt influencer by night. She is trying to earn enough money as an influencer to quit her day job and adopt a dog of her very own. And hunting monsters through iHunt also lets her live out her lifelong fantasy of really becoming Sailor Moon.
Debbie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Debbie. I use she, her pronouns. Today, I shall be Amanda Abersham, also she, her pronouns. She is, by day, as we're saying, a librarian. And by whatever time of the day that we're eye hunting, she's also a trained martial artist. And so she enjoys the opportunity to use her hard-earned skills, keep her reflexes honed, and punching monsters is also fun whilst getting paid to do it. So ready and excited to do some punching. And you can probably tell that I've never punched anyone in my whole entire life.
You. Mike.
Hello, my name's Mike, he, him, his pronouns. I play Brad Williams, who's a private investigator who's recently opened his own investigation firm, and he's always struggling with increasing cost of living to keep the lights on, so especially one over the sign, so he's trying to, by day he is a private investigator, basically. And by night, he uses the iHunt app to get a little extra cash. So that way he can keep his business going for as long as possible.
And then Kristen.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen and my pronouns are she, her. And today I'm going to be playing Sophia Matilda von Hilgenschlaft, who is a defunded heiress from Europe, who is now picking up part-time jobs as a bartender and an iHunt app fighter. She is a socialite character, and she has formerly been making a good time of life in the highest circles of influence and is now fighting to get back to where she was previously in life from the bottom up.
Alrighty. Thank you for that. And so that is everyone. And we're gonna go ahead and start with the opening of the game. So the year is 2035. After the emergence of monsters around the entire globe, one of the major cities in America, New York City, has fallen. And over time, due to companies investing in several people, the iHunt app was invented to hunt down by paying anyone and everyone to hunt down monsters. And monsters have valuable, how to put this? Their pelts, their hides, bones, everything is of value to all tech companies, pharmaceutical companies, and now they are kind of ruling the world. And so a couple years later, New York City has risen again with towering skyscrapers. and it was renamed New York. And today is a Pride Festival happening in the Central Park, which had been expanded after the fall of New York City. The Pride event is hosted by a giant brewery company who has over 70 types of different brews, and the name of the brewing company is Mystical Brew and Company. The owner, who is only known by Ezekiel, he is known to be a hermit, and the company is known for its high-end brews and spirits. Today, they are to be releasing a brand new brew for Pride. You all have been hired to work security for the event. Your pay will be anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on your participation in the event. And you guys take it from there. So you guys will be at a Pride Festival. You guys can show up, talk to each other, see what's around.
Are we like here before it's like starting? So we're like just getting set up for security, or has it like started?
You have been hired and you have just shown up to the event. So it is very early in the day, around like 10 a.m. noon.
Cool.
I think I'll introduce myself to everybody.
Three people just tried to talk at once, I think.
So you guys are having like a little security huddle, or are you guys all separated?
I think security huddle, yeah.
Let's do a security huddle.
All right.
So I rock up in like this totally like unprofessional goth girl outfit. You know, like the traditional like short black skirt, knee-high black goth boots, platform boots. I do not look like I'm capable of monster hunting, but I am there.
Right.
Stand in the background a little bit and I gradually approach the huddle.
I would like to backflip into the middle of the huddle, wearing a perfect like athletic outfit, like, you know, comfy t-shirt, leggings, trainers, and I've got a bag, like a backpack, really like, strapped on backpack, like a bucky with the chest strap and the waist strap all done, so there's nothing falling off or coming out. I'm ready to go.
Becca has been taking selfies for her account, and she happens to get you photobombing right behind her, just perfectly poised over the shoulder, looking like it's intentional because you're giving like a thumbs up. You look badass. That's going right to the account.
Okay.
Let's see. I decide to burst in the doors hurriedly. I'm like dressed kind of like party down style. I've got like, you know, kind of a disheveled like high-end bartender / like waitress look going. And I'm carrying like a violin case, and I'm constantly texting on my phone and heading towards the group.
All right. So none of you guys really know each other. So if you guys want to introduce each other, sorry, let me back that up. You guys can know each other previously. You guys just need to like interact how you guys have those ties into each other. Or you could just be a loner who just showed up to get paid.
Be the loner.
Sounds about right for your character.
I would like to be friends with everyone. So after backflipping into the group and, you know, maybe doing some high kicks or some air punches, you know, to get warmed up, I'll be like, "Hi everyone, my name's Amanda. Nice to meet you all." And I'll like offer a high five to anyone that wants a high five, ready for some monster hunting. Does anyone take me up on a high five?
I high five.
Yes.
I was going to say, you kind of had that vibe of sort of just in the face, like, I was just like, and just.
Yeah, just stop right shy of the nose.
I don't really touch people because it might, like, dirty my connection with the spirits, you understand? But it's so great to meet you, Amanda. I'm Katya. I'm really new to monster hunting, but I'm so excited to be here with all of you and, hunt some monsters together. It's going to be a great time, I'm sure.
Okay, well, look, air 5 to that. You don't have to touch me, you can just smack the air. And I'm so excited to see how this all works out around the monsters for you.
I have done a whole one successful hunt, and it was really successful if you're supposed to be cried and covered in blood afterwards. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go, right? So it was great. I'm so glad to be making extra income this way.
Sophie, we haven't met, but I'm definitely aware of you. I've heard of you. You have quite the presence online, so it's really nice to meet you. I'm excited to work with you today.
Wait, does that mean you're famous, Amanda? And Sophie? Are you all famous hunters?
I would say that I've done a couple, but I think this is the first time that I've ran into any of y'all before. I've seen you online on the app before.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've done hunts, plenty of them. But it's not like it's just a job. It pays the bills, it keeps me sharp, but I have no interest in fame. Yuck.
I guess if you count like 150,000 followers as famous, then maybe like minor. Yeah, I'm really into the iHunt culture.
Oh, we should
Wow.
totally totes talk later. That is so awesome.
We absolutely should.
I am so lucky to be getting to do my next hunt with people who are so ingrained in this beautiful culture where we put our lives on the line to, help people.
I just need the money.
Fair. So, how do we want to do this? Do we want to patrol? Are there particular areas that we need to keep safe? Are there any known threats? What's the monster activity in this area like? Who's got the intelligence? Who's got the recon? Do we know this information, Nix, or does someone else know it?
So you guys were hired for security because the brewery uses a lot of monster reagents and a lot of magic in their brews, and so it kind of attracts other beings, whether they be monsters or what the app defines as things, which is all unclassified. So outside the typical monsters of like werewolves, vampires, like everything that's so anything that's atypical. Um, and there is a bunch of stalls with food, other craft brews, some weapon stalls for hunters. There are some armor and like technology things that are being sold for hunters. So it's kind of like just a bunch of different things, and it also is a pride festival, so you see all the pride flags out. People are selling pride merch. People are doing makeup for free. They're doing their pride makeup for free. Um, you see some people that are selling like these cloaks with hoods that are pride themed. So it's just overall people having a good time, and just enjoying the weather. It's nice and sunny out, but not too hot with a little cool breeze. There's people with their dogs out. Um, and if anyone wants to go ahead and we'll do our first roll, if anyone wants to roll the dice, you all can.
Do bad things happen if we roll the dice? Can we choose not to roll the dice?
Yes, you can choose not to. But if one of you would like to roll, it'll start kind of like the campaign and start going forward.
I got a +2, fair.
You got a +2. You see that some of the dogs look alike. Like they are they are literally the same dog over and over again.
I don't want to
We're in a
punch a dog.
simulation.
And you also notice that whenever you were looking around the stalls earlier, there was a basket weaver who had like 10 baskets on their table. Now they have like 30.
Definitely a simulation.
Can I
So,
create an advantage?
yeah, go ahead.
I would like to use my socialite abilities to kind of scope out some of the stalls, maybe.
Okay, go ahead and do a fate roll.
All right. -1 poor.
You notice something kind of odd is going on, but you don't really know too much.
Can I also create an advantage?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to use my ring light to examine the dogs and the additional copies of the baskets to see if the light goes through like an illusion or if they're casting shadow or something like that.
Okay.
-2, terrible.
You try and like get your light to turn on, and it's just having some trouble. You're just like, what? Anyone
Could
else?
I maybe try and push for advantage on what was it? I think it was investigation, because there was a specific name for.
Your advantage is investigate creates by investing. A convenient piece of information in the right hands can be truly devastating, whether it's a weak point or load bearing. So this one kind of wouldn't work out too well for you because you kind of look for weak points. But you can just kind of observe the area if you want to go ahead and roll that.
Okay, I'll observe anyway.
So this is a
One
quick
poor.
question, Nix.
What's up?
Can we just kind of use our abilities like as at will, or can we like have to go in order?
You can use them at will, but just if someone's talking, just give them a minute to do their thing, and then we'll go around. And what'd you roll, Mike?
-1 poor.
-1. Something odd's going on here. Lena, go ahead and do a roll for me, and you're gonna get a +1 to this roll.
So it was a -1, but with the +1, it's a 0. So I'm mediocre.
You sort of feel like there's something feeding off the energy in the area.
Hey everyone, I think there's something like feeding off of all these people gathered here. That's probably the sort of thing we're supposed to fight. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's what's happening.
Do you have a sense of where like the source of this is coming from?
Can I?
It's sort of covering the entire area.
It's
There
kind
are
of
there are
covering, like,
there are
every.
multiple sources that you can't pinpoint.
Am I able to? I create a. Can I create an advantage to? My thing is like mostly knowing a lot about monsters. I guess is it? Can I like create an advantage to see if there's like a monster that I've heard of that does this? That
Yep.
feeds off of people's energy.
Yes.
See if we can roll better. Just flat mediocre. Just 0.
All right. You're gonna get a plus to it because it is in your domain of speciality. You know about a monster that likes to mimic other creatures and objects. They are called imps, and they feed off of emotion and energy where people are gathered.
This might be imps, y'all. I've never met an imp. I've tried to meet imps, but it didn't work. Anyway, this might be an imp or multiple imps. They're feeding off the energy and they're mimicking other creatures. I don't know. It sounds risky. We might need to find them.
The imps look like baskets or dogs? Because the dogs look the same. There's baskets, more baskets than there were previously. Which one's the imp? Which one do I punch?
Do
Don't
I
hurt
think
the dog.
I don't want to hurt the dog. Mm-mm.
especially if it's actually a dog, that'd be
Right?
horrible.
Oh,
They're all
God,
the
this is
same
making
dog.
Debbie feel weird.
Maybe they're just from the same litter.
Punch some baskets.
Yeah, okay. Can I go punch a basket?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think baskets have feelings.
Okay. Do I need to roll to punch a basket?
Are you trying to punch a specific basket, or are you just going for all of them at once?
Well, all of them at once. Yes, I will do a no hands cartwheel into the middle of the baskets and then flail my limbs around, but in the way that would look good in a Hollywood movie fight, you know?
Go ahead and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I can do this.
I'm an athlete, as everyone can tell. +1 average.
Okay. You go in, you do all the things, and every imp in the area just sort of dispels their mimicry and just targets you.
Aha! So they were
There,
baskets.
there are 10 of them in total.
Were they baskets or were they dogs?
They were baskets and the dogs, but
Oh,
they
both.
popped out of
Shit.
there.
Shit.
Oh no.
Good. Oh,
I would have never
pull
made
out-
you hit a dog. It would have changed before that.
Thank
So,
you.
Can I
So
pull
now
out
I'm
my
fighting 10
revolver?
imps.
And
all right. So now we're gonna enter combat. Everyone, go ahead and I should have said we should have had a dice for this. I was thinking, does anyone have a d20 on hand?
We can
Yeah,
roll
I
in
do.
roll 20 also.
I got one. What do you want me to roll? D20?
Not in
Yeah.
roll 20. Discord.
Oh, that's right. You can roll in
16.
Discord. Okay.
I don't remember the command to roll in Discord, and I don't have dice on hand, so somebody should roll for me.
I just rolled. I got 16.
20.
Oh, take
Okay.
that. That's a better roll.
I'll roll one for you, Lena.
I can roll Enos real quick.
Okay.
Got to use the gay dice for it. The rainbow dice.
Nice.
14.
Okay.
Funny enough, that's exactly what I got.
All right. Catherine and Kristen.
I rolled a 3.
Which one? Sorry, who was that? Still
Catherine.
learning this. Okay.
I don't have a d20. Can somebody roll for me?
I got
Yeah,
you.
I can.
Okay,
Or Nick's, go ahead.
Yeah. 17.
Oh,
All right. Mike will go first. Actually, Debbie's going to go first real quick because she had the advantage of crashing into them. We're going to use
Okay.
that +1 to the
Advantage.
So I'm just going to attack them.
Yep.
So I just roll my dice +1.
Does your class have a special attack athlete? No. Okay, yeah. So you're just gonna brawl on them.
Okay. So I roll again.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got +1 average again.
All right. Out of like the 5 that were there, you take out 2 of them. You just go up and you punch one, and then it leads into the next one, and they just scream and they pass out.
2 down.
All right, and then Mike.
It was a cold day in New York. I saw these imps attack my friend. I decided to pull out my revolver. And yes, I do narrate my own stunts. And then he fires on. He'll fire on one that's close to Amanda Aversham.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
+1 average.
All right. right. You go ahead and take out two of them. You kind of just shoot, and it kind of just pierces one and goes through the other. Also, your gun doesn't shoot bullets; it shoots magical energy. By the way, I forgot to tell you that.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm happy with that.
It's specifically to damage monsters and not anything else. All right, and then we got Kristen.
Okay, I drop my violin case and grab my Italian warhammer that's been hidden inside of it, which I pulled out of nowhere because I have been keeping it concealed this whole time for social correctness. And I rush over to help Debbie with the imps that were baskets.
All right, there is one imp left over there, so you can go ahead and roll.
-2. Terrible.
And what class were you again?
Socialite.
Okay, social. All right. So you grab your Italia warhammer, and you're like, "All right, let's go!" And you raise it up, and you just throw it behind you. And then you go to swing down on top of the imp, and he's just like, and he just makes like these weird sounds, like ah, ah, ah. And then he just opens his wings and flies up in the air and kind of like moves away.
Okay.
All right, and then Debbie,
Again. All right. So is there still a basket imp and 5 dog imps
Yes,
left?
correct.
Oh
The
man.
basket imp is currently flying away from both you and Kristen.
Okay, fine.
Also,
How far?
they are like this big, by the way. They are teeny tiny creatures.
Awesome. Can I grab the basket imp that's flying away and like swing it and chuck it at the dog imps? Is that an option?
Yeah.
Cool. But imagine that, of course, I tumble through the air as I do it. Like Captain America throwing a shield. That's what's happening.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and
How
roll.
many references can I get into my character? Many. Many. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Another +1 average.
All right. So you kind of it's flying away. You kind of just grab it by the legs, like you said. You ring it around a couple times, and then you just yeet it. And in the process of doing that, it kind of ping pongs between two other imps, and they are just not having a good time. They're like dizzy. All right, and Lena. There's 3 left.
So Katya is just going to pull these 2 huge pink quartz crystals from somewhere. It's really like there's like it doesn't make any sense that she was able to hide these when she doesn't have a purse or pockets, but she did it somehow. She's going to pull them out and run towards one of the remaining imps and just swing at its head with one.
Okay.
Hey, +3. Good.
All right, so you actually just go up with your fist, and you just come up and you smack one into the other, and you just do a full like 360 with them, and they just go flying down the park.
Nice.
All right. So after all the imps are defeated, they're kind of like twitching on the ground. They're a little messed up. They're all still alive. They're just really knocked unconscious. You guys, gave them a beating. A woman walks out, and she has on some platform boots and a short denim shorts with a denim jacket and a crop top on. She's got the full makeup. She looks kind of gothish, and she walks up and she says, "Oh, should not have trusted them to do that. And you all kind of get the feeling that you should not fight her. She drops a card on the ground, turns around and kind of struts as she's walking away.
Can I walk in front of her, drop my card of a private investigator in front of her, and walk back?
Sure, go ahead.
I love it.
You can go ahead
I
and
walk through the street.
Okay.
I passed that beautiful lady who decided to drop her business card and decided it was a must that she needed my card also. So I ran, and then I strutted when I got close to her. Walked past, threw it in front, double backed, met everyone else again.
So as you get close to her, she moves really fast. Go ahead and roll real quick.
-2 terrible.
Okay. She comes up and she whispers in your ear, "Well, aren't you the lucky one? I'll call you if I need you." And you kind of are like sort of enthralled by her. She has now become one of your focuses in your life. And you just wanna follow her to the ends of the earth at this point. And without a second glance, she is gone.
Can I
And
pick up the card?
Yep, go ahead.
So I can find out her name.
Yep. So it is a solid black card with gold writing that says Nymera. And
Mirror.
all it has is like a music symbol on it. That's all that's there. So
I see if she sprayed it with perfume or anything. You know that classy ladies have a tendency
no, there's no
of
smell to it.
doing.
Is she gone, or has she just left the room?
So you guys were outside. She's super fast. Like she just disappeared. Like none of you could actually see where she went. So the people start, coming out. They're like, all the people that like kind of ran away from the situation. They're like, what the hell just happened? And like people aren't, they're used to monsters, and so they're just like, all right. So some of the people from the brewery come out. They're like, all right, let's get this party started. Come on, let's everyone have a good time. Enjoy. They go ahead and start rolling out the mystical brews. As security for the event, you guys are gonna get one each, so you guys can peruse what's there.
Brad, did you know that pretty woman? She seemed like she maybe was a hunter or something, or maybe working with the imps. I don't know. I'm not very good at this. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, she was pretty. Did you know who she was?
No, but the card said Nightmare. I have to know more about her. I will follow her to the ends of the world.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. If that's what hunters do, we can follow her to the ends of the world and learn more about her.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. But look, you fine. Yep, great. Okay. Maybe don't follow mysterious women that work with imps.
I'm a little skeptical of this woman. I kind of want to create an advantage and like examine like her outfit and stuff. Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to basically like create an advantage and like kind of evaluate the situation with her card and her outfit and her demeanor basically, because I'm like, this lady kind of like feels like I've maybe met her before or something, or like she seems like she's been running in like high circles. Maybe I might be able to like figure something out about her.
Okay.
I roll a mediocre.
Okay. Also, Catherine, can I go ahead and get a roll for you as well?
Sure.
is your influencer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Another -2. Terrible.
All right. You're just like, you completely forget that she, like, you feel like you know her, but you're just blanking on everything right now. And as the socialite, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? You did notice that she had one thing on her, was a pair of really expensive headphones. And
What about the card? Did I notice anything about the card or the music symbol?
it's actually a metal card, and it's like, you just know it's an expensive thing to make if you're making solid metal cards with gold inlays in them, because it does have actual gold in it.
And what kind of symbol was on the card?
I'm not good with music symbols, so Sam, you're in the chat. Can you give me a music symbol?
Treble
have,
clef, double clef.
Quaver.
Okay, that works. It's just a music symbol.
Okay.
All right. So, like I said, the brewery has wheeled out a bunch of different brews. They're all the mystical brews. Some make you, float off the ground. Some make you grow wings for a certain amount of time. Some make you run faster. Like, it's a bunch of different things.
Do we get to
Do we
pick
get to
which one we
choose the
get?
wings?
Jinx.
You guys can choose whatever one you want. Just let me know what you guys would like to do with the brews within reason.
Oh,
Devil wings. I want devil wings.
no hesitation.
Can we mix and match brews?
No, you only get one. Each one
Oh.
of these brews is about $1,500.
How much money do each of us have?
Nothing, because you guys need money right now. That's why you're working a job.
The gig economy.
Right.
But these
okay.
are like a perk of the job, right? So these are free for us.
Yes,
for
you get one
normally
each, and they are free.
Ooh.
Can I get one that gives me like Hulk arms for extra punches, but just the arms, like the rest of me is a normal body?
Yeah,
Awesome.
you're gonna get one that gives you really high strength for an hour, and makes your arms so big that you have to like walk on them.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm gonna gorilla this.
Right. You have it. You can choose to drink it whenever you want.
I'm
How
drinking.
long does it last again?
Debbie's lasts an hour. It's around noon right now.
Yeah, drink it immediately.
Okay.
Are all the effects physical, or can they be psychic or mental?
They can be psychic and mental. Everything can be enhanced. You can have communication ones that allow you to communicate with monsters. There's like one that turns you ethereal for a few minutes.
Can I have one that lets me like make really, really strong suggestions to people to get them to do what I want?
Yeah. Let's steal something from Umbrella Academy. You gotta do I Heard a Rumor.
Oh, okay. Very on brand.
Yeah. And that will last an hour as well. Do you choose to drink it right now or no?
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Okay. All right.
Nix, you can say no to this because I come up with ridiculous things. But can I have one that is like makes demons like just want to hang out with me? Like if they meet me, they're just like, oh wait, I don't actually want to kill Katya. I want to be her friend.
I can give you one that allows you to have. Let me think about this. This one's called the Demon's Brew. It is not something you drink. It is one you pour out. It'll summon like a lesser demon for like an hour or so that will do your bidding.
and be my friend. It doesn't. You don't have to put that in there.
Okay, you
Um,
can just your bidding is be
you
my friend.
believe it is your friend because it does what you say.
And that's what friendship is, right?
Right.
All right,
Okay, cool.
Mike and Kristen.
Can you tell me more about the ethereal drink?
So when you drink it, you sort of become an corporeal, and you kind of just disappear. You're able to move around. You're just not allowed to interact. You can't interact with objects or other beings, but you are invisible for just a few minutes.
I think that's what I would like to do.
And
I'll hold on to it.
you are detectable by magical beings, though.
Oh, okay.
Like if they're strong enough, but not like, oh, I'm like a level 1 goblin, I can see you, you know.
Right. And how, like, just a few minutes, like 5 minutes? Like, how many minutes are we talking?
I'd say about 5 minutes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that and I'll hold on to it.
All right. And then Mike or Brad.
Brad wants some kind of devil armor, if possible, for a battle mode.
Not gonna do quite devil armor.
Wings,
I can
perhaps covering.
I was gonna give you a trench coat that sort of is like a mystical trench coat that sort of protects you for a short time.
What, like invincibility for a very short period?
Not quite invincibility, like you have like Achilles heel, like from like your knees down, I guess you would be like able to be hit. Some of these have drawbacks, that's why. Like the stronger it is, it will have some sort of drawback. Um and Lena's you'll find out later. Um so you want to do the armored trench coat?
Or devil wings, either that or those.
Okay, you want to do the wings?
But devil wings, so they're like sort of
That's fine.
slender, but
Yeah, that's fine. And those will last for about 30 minutes.
cool.
And they'll give you like you're not going to be used to using them, so you can only like fly a little bit off the ground because they're kind of hard to use because you've never used wings before.
As long as I can get to the skyscrapers, I'll be
Gotcha.
happy.
Well, Debbie already drank theirs, so does anyone want to put theirs back and choose a different one?
What are the other choices that we could potentially do?
I'm letting you guys come up with them, and I'm just saying yes
Okay.
or no. Because there's
If I wanted to
technically
do
72 different ones.
okay, what you had mentioned, like there's one that like could make you go super fast, right?
Yep.
Like have like super fast reflexes.
It
be able to,
is
like,
it is the
run
vampire potion, and it gives you the speed of a vampire.
for how long?
Just a short burst of speed.
Like a couple of minutes, or is it just like
Like
one
you
time?
drink it and you run and you're done.
Okay.
It's like a charge ability because there's no
Okay.
drawback on that one. I do have some of them written down. I just wasn't doing 72 of them individually.
Is there one that could enhance my like socialite communication skills?
Just like the one that allows you to communicate with monsters.
Okay, and that one lasts how long?
That'll last an hour.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna switch to that one.
Okay. Just marking it down here.
And I'll hold on to it.
All right. So is everyone satisfied with their choices?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. I've never been more happy.
So looking at this table, there's all the different brews there. And then there's the gigantic building that is made of brick and stone. It has like an older rustic feel. And through the giant doors, you can kind of see some of the distillery equipment, the giant kegs, and there are like 4 towers on each side. It looks kind of like a castle. And in the center, there's a giant tower that is kind of like as high as the skyscrapers. It is a huge tower. And it is known as Ezekiel's Tower. That's where he stays, that's where he experiments, and that's where he lives. The entire rest of the company stays below. Nobody goes up. These are rumors that you have heard from ex-employees, people around. And all of a sudden, there is this sort of like earthquake. The ground starts to shake a little bit. People start getting a little uneasy. And a beam of light kind of erupts from that tower and kind of destroys it. And all the rubble falls down to the courtyard inside of like the castle area. And there is just this giant beam of light that is changing different colors. You see myriads of colors, rainbow. If you have like seen like the Marvel movies, it sort of looks like the Bifrost, sort of like all the different colors. And it is just shooting into the sky. It's torn through the clouds, and the kegs below start to burst open. All the bottles in front of you start to bust open. All the stands that were behind you, all the alcohol, just like everything that had alcohol contained in it, just bust open. And these liquidy, bubbly creatures start to come out. And the iHunter app updates. $10,000, defeat the elementals.
Wait, did the drinks that we just chose, like, did they also bust open?
No, you guys have those still.
Okay.
They're personally contained on you. You guys have some sort of protection with the iHunt app. Your phones, the iHunt app itself is magic. One thing, I don't know if you guys saw my post, the internet is an entity on its own that is magical in this game. So when you're connected worldwide, and that protects you. And yes, they are called elementals. So they are kind of swarming people, kind of corralling them. They're kind of going in random directions. They haven't attacked anyone yet. And the guards turn to you for the place. They're like, "What are you doing? We hired you to do a job. Do it."
I drink the wings potion and engage battle mode.
Okay. Debbie, if you're
Perfect.
talking, I can't hear you.
Oh no. I'm ready to go with my punches
Okay.
as Brad engages battle mode.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Well,
Oh, that's nice. I didn't see that, so just now because I was looking at Debbie. All right. So, Brad's like trench coat opens up, it pulls a little helmet over him, and he's sort of armored, except for like his knees and below. He's ready to go. Debbie with their Amanda has their Hulk arms, and they're just doing this, walking their way towards the elementals, and they're ready to go. Anyone else ready to fight?
Yeah, I want to hop up on top of Debbie with my warhammer.
Oh, I love it.
Oh god. I don't know if I'm strong enough.
Oh, you're plenty strong enough. Like your arms are so big that you can just like you can actually just stand on one shoulder at this point.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna stand on Debbie's shoulder, like with my warhammer ready, just like ready to jump on some elementals.
All right.
Becca is filming what's going on with the phone in her left hand and brandishing her ring light as that she uses as a chakram in her right hand, and ready
Okay.
to kill some things.
Katya's gonna stare at her demon's brew and be like trying to think of if now is the key time to summon a demon and try to make best friends with it. And finally, she stashes it who knows where and pulls out her crystals and looks like she's ready to rumble again.
All right. We're gonna go in order from earlier. So it's gonna be Brad. Brad's gonna go in first.
Cool. So I'm going to engage my wing potion, and I'm going to fly at the nearest couple of enemies, and fire in a real sort of expect like that. There's like a leak in the building, so it's like looks like it's rainfall, and really setting a scene, sort of slow mo. I'm sort of looking away just as I sort of shoot at it, and I'll be like, "Time to get paid."
Go ahead and roll for your attack.
Oh no, -3.
All right, so you sort of just fly into the building. You go to shoot your mystical bullets, and the gun kind of misfires. And in doing so, you are knocked up into the ceiling, and then you just plummet down to the ground.
Oh no.
And there's an elemental just sort of hovering above you, like really confused on what you were trying to do. All right.
I hand him the card.
You go to hand him the card, and it sort of just dissolves in the bubbly substance that is the elemental. Kristen, you're next.
Okay, I decide to like dive jump off of Debbie's shoulders at the nearest elemental with my warhammer, screaming, "This is for my Mike's character,
Brad.
for Brad." And let me roll. +3, good.
All right. So you go up, and so these beings are liquid. You can't really hit them. So your weapon lights up with energy because you all can use magic in some sort of way. And there's some runes that light up on it. And you just sort of come up and you cleave the elemental in two. You hear like a bubbling, gurgling noise, and then it just splashes onto the ground. Every elemental in the building turns towards you guys and just starts moving towards you.
Okay, can I hop back up on Debbie's shoulders?
On your next turn.
Okay.
Where was I? Amanda with the Hulk arms.
Yep, that's what they call me. Now that my shoulder is unburdened by my fellow hunter, I am gonna beat my chest, but not in a "oh god, I'm trying to hurt myself" way, but like a gorilla would, and then charge in and clothesline, like dive through the air, trying to clothesline elementals out of the air.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Oh god, it's about time my luck changed. -2, terrible.
So you kind of just charge at the elemental and you just pass right through it. And you get this bubbly feeling all over you. And you're like, that's interesting. And so you're now behind the elemental, and he's just like, or it's just like really confused on what happened. Yeah. And Next will be Lena. Yes.
Cool. So Katya looked like she was really ready to start fighting, and then she saw Brad and Amanda not have a good time, and she's like, "Wait, I'm not actually a very good fighter." So instead of charging in, I'm going to try to create an advantage by figuring out what these elementals are weak to, and then I'm going to shout that out to the rest of the party. Is that just that's not one of my that's not a stunt, so it's just the flat roll, right? I don't get a plus to it even though it's a occultist. Okay. +2, fair.
You know that elementals on their own are usually very passive. They are made to protect humans, and that is their main driving force. Thinking back, you see that you remember the elementals in the courtyard or outside at the festival were not attacking; they were guarding the people. And the ones inside you had just attacked. You sort of triggered when the magical explosion happened. It must have been like a fail-safe system to protect the workers and people around the building. But you guys just killed one of them, and now they're angry with you. So they see you as intruders and the dangerous people.
Oops.
Okay.
Knowing this, there particularly isn't any weakness to elementals other than destroying a core within them. In addition to that, magic works very well on them, or find the source that summoned them in the first place and destroying that.
Okay. So I'm gonna call out, so y'all, I know these look really dangerous, but elementals are usually the goodies, and I think they think we're the baddies. I think they think we're intruders and that we caused that explosion. But we also already killed one of them, so the time for, explaining might have passed. So if it has, magic is really great, or finding the source of I completely forgot the source of what?
The source that summoned them.
The source that summoned them. Because they're kind of tough otherwise. I'll just hang back here and, feed you things to help and cheer you on. I'm contributing.
And
That's my turn.
knowing this information, everybody kind of realizes that the guy who said we hired you to do a job meant go see what's going on at the light, not attack the elementals.
But our apps told us to fight the elementals, right? Or the elementals.
This is it's a second job in addition to your security job.
Okay, so the iHunt app thinks that it's okay.
Does anyone want to look at the iHunt app?
Yes.
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 Okay. You see your two jobs. The first job is to provide security for the Pride Festival event and the brewery. And that is assigned by the Mystical Brewing Company. The second job, the contractor, is a bunch of randomized characters that are constantly changing. There is no name there.
Oh, oops, we
Seems
totally
reasonable.
contract.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Because you just got the alert, kill the elementals, but my chair just moved it. And I am upset about that.
Okay, but I
The
created
kill
an
the
advantage,
elementals one gives us £10,000. What are we getting for doing security at the Pride Festival?
Up to 2,000.
Yeah, fuck that. Kill the elementals.
But if the person
This is a
who
gig economy.
if the person who put out that alert though isn't revealing their name, we're unlikely to get paid.
Are there fail safes built into the system so if we do the work we get paid for it?
Yes, the payment goes to iHunt first, and then it goes into your accounts directly.
Oh, screw it. Let's kill the elementals.
Get the punches.
This is a capitalist economy, baby.
It's
Make
shit.
that dollar.
Joel,
And who cares
Dollar,
about
dollar,
contracts?
holler, holler.
Joel said you fell for a phishing scheme.
Hmm.
All right.
Hopefully we don't get paid in crypto.
Right?
Oh.
All right. So you guys want to fight the elementals. There are about 5 more in the building.
Yep.
And they are coming at you.
I suggest we all make a huddle in every direction as they come towards us.
Together.
Yeah, back to
Don't
back.
stand on my shoulder then.
No, not this time. You got to
Battle
use
mode
those arms for
activated.
something, Daddy.
Take my arms
Amanda.
out. I like how, yeah, I've got a character name of Amanda and everyone's just calling me Debbie. Maybe it's just me.
Let's do this. Get paid.
All right. So we are at Catherine.
Okay, so Becca's in the huddle back to the group, and she is going to throw her chakram and try to hit as many, throw her ring light chakram and try to hit as many of the elementals as she can.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, this app is broken because this is the third -2 terrible I've gotten in a row.
Oh
I mean, I just got +1, +3, +1, +2, -1.
Totally fine. My luck is just really bad today.
You can reload it and try again.
Let's see. Okay, now I got a +1 average.
Okay.
Can we take that one, please?
So you take your chakram and you throw it into one of the elementals coming at you. And when it gets there, because of what the chakram is, it has a magical surge as soon as it hits and sort of evaporates the elemental. And then it comes back to you.
It was such a Sailor Moon move.
All right. And we are back to Brad.
Okay, so Brad kind of wants to get up and see if he can use his stunt to identify the weaknesses in as many as possible as his revolver will allow, to see if I can try a rapid shot or something. And
All right. So you are going to have a disadvantage to this roll because you're trying to identify multiple targets. Go ahead and roll for a negative with a -1 disadvantage.
+1 average, so I got 0.
Okay. So are you going to shoot them still?
I'll try to shoot a couple, maybe.
You shoot your gun and you sort of miss, but you realize, going off of what Katya said, is that I pronounced that right?
yes.
Going off of what Katya said, you see the cores, but they're not in one position. They are sort of moving throughout, kind of like keeping the elemental energized in different parts. So you shoot, but you miss that core, and your bullets do go through them, but they kind of reform themselves. All right. I was just seeing if anyone had anything. Sophia.
Okay, I rushed to help Mike with the elementals that he was trying to shoot at, and I run in screaming with my warhammer, like full on, like straight into them.
Okay.
-1.
-1. You take your warhammer and you swing into them. Unfortunately, this time it does cleave through it, but it sort of just starts to reform as you cut through it. It just reforms along, because you did miss its core.
Okay.
And at this point, they are sort of right at you guys. There's two of them like right on top of you guys. All right. So Amanda.
Okay. Now I'm a fighter, so all I'm meant to be good at is fighting. But what would defeat an elemental? What's
could
the
walk up.
anti-yeast?
You could walk up and grab its core and shatter it in your hand. They are very fragile. You just have to hit it
That would be also that would be fucking cinematic. To
or
punch
punch
it
it
in the
out.
middle and yeah. All right, let's attempt that.
All right.
Haha, +1, average.
Okay. You do grab it and you rip it out, and you're sort of like holding it. You're playing tug of war with the elemental. Go ahead and roll one more time for me.
But I'm strong.
Actually, yeah, I'll give you
plus
+1.
three. No, +3 good.
Okay.
+3 good.
So you sort of just you're playing tug of war with it, and you rip it out, and as you're ripping it out, you just start to crumble it in your hand, and it just collapses, and there's just more brew across the ground, and you guys are just stepping in like sticky brew.
Nice.
Is it Katya.
So Katya's gonna be watching all of these people who she hopes will be her new friends fighting the elementals. I'm not good at saying things. And she's looking at her crystals, and she's thinking, and then she's gonna look really freaked out, and instead pull out the demon's brew, and pour it on the ground to summon her little new lesser demon friend. So is that her action, or can like telling it to do things be her action, or how
Your
are we
action will be your attack. But go ahead and roll for the brew real quick.
0, mediocre.
You summon a little. It looks like an imp, but it's about 3 times the size, so it's about half the size of your body, and it's like a butler. It has like a little suit on with like the back of it with its wings poked out, and it comes in like with a plate of like food, and it's just like, what?
Hi! I've been trying to summon demons for so long, and it finally worked. And I was going to tell you to go fight those because they're freaky, and I don't really want to get close to them, but I don't want you to get close to them either. You could get hurt, and you are so adorable and perfect.
It looks up at you and it's just like starts to like step away with like really big eyes.
Well, no, don't leave. We're friends.
And it kind of just like stops in its tracks because it can't like leave you, and it just like it doesn't know what's going on.
I was gonna have you fight them for me because they're scary, but I think instead you stay right here where it's real safe back here, and I'll go fight them to keep you and I guess everybody else safe. I'm a very good fighter. I know what I'm doing. So you just stay right here.
It reaches into its coat and it goes and it hands you a grenade.
Thank you. That should help a lot. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of start to jog towards the elementals and chuck the grenade. Like, are there some of them close together?
Yeah, there's the 3 in the back.
Okay, so I'm gonna chuck the grenade at those 3.
Yeah, I rolled a -2 on the imp, so he gave you a grenade. If I would have rolled a +3, he would have just poofed.
Oh, that would have been so sad. I rolled a +1 average for throwing the grenade.
So you throw the grenade and it rolls first before it lands. Like after it lands, it sort of rolls to the side, it explodes and takes out one of the cores for one of the elementals. The rest of the shrapnel just sort of passes through the other two. But they're just like, what is happening? Like the elementals are so confused on why they're getting attacked.
Oh, okay. I think that's it for my turn.
And then your little demon butler guy kind of like wanders off to the side and like starts like grabbing some of the brew and putting it in bottles, and he just stuffs them back into his coat.
Nice.
All right. Becca.
Am I near any of my teammates?
Yeah, you guys are huddled up.
Oh, okay, we're still held up. Let's see. Who's to my left? Does anyone know?
Hold on, Lena would be technically,
Lena would be
because
to my
it would have been Mike, Debbie, Kristen on this side, and then you back sort of here, and then Lena is how I envisioned it right now. But now Debbie's like way up here.
Okay, so Sophie's on my other side.
Yeah, you would have Sophie and Katya on both your sides.
Okay, I'm going to use my stunt feature to do a selfie with Sophie to give her an advantage on her next move. Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And I got a 0, mediocre. It's not that.
It's fine. Oh, you don't have to roll in stunts. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you take a photo, and you and Sophia are looking glamorous. The brew that kind of got over you is like making you glisten. The magical properties are like making your skin look good. The lighting is perfect. And Sophia is just feeling really, really good about herself, really happy. She's ready to go. She wants to kick some ass.
Awesome.
So,
and I tag it, I hunt hotties.
all right. Brad, you are up again. You have 2 elementals in the back and 1 in front.
Okay, so the one in front is the one that I'm going to target. However, I would like to use that stunt that I have to identify weaknesses and try and shoot that one direct in the core.
Okay. You already know its weakness, so you sort of are just like, it's right in front of you. Instead of shooting it, you know that point blank is probably not the best thing right now because it is a moving target. So you flip your revolver around and you just pistol whip the core and break it in half.
Oh,
That works.
And you're just like, and then you grab the gun and you're just like,
Whoop whoop, mother.
all right. So you have the 2 elementals in the back who at this point are sort of just turning around. They are going for the 2, or there's a couple workers in the back who haven't been able to escape because you've been murdering the elementals at the front. And they're just horrified at this point. They don't know why you're killing them. All right. So you guys are technically out of combat unless you decide to attack them again.
100%. The job is to kill the elementals, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
tracking them
there's
down.
2 left. Let's go.
All right, Sophia, you're up with your
Okay.
+2 or 1. Becca, was it +2 or 1?
I don't know. How does that get determined?
Let me see influence real quick. What was it called? What was the stunt called?
Feature, but I made it up. It wasn't on the sheet.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll give you a +1.
Okay, I run in between the workers and the elementals to try and keep them from getting attacked, and saying, like these are not the This is not the people you want to be attacking or something. And I try and swing at the nearest elemental that's trying to go for a worker.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. +1 average.
So +2. So you're gonna grab your warhammer again. It's gonna light up with your runes on it, and you're just gonna cleave it in two, destroying that core, and it just falls to the ground. And one of the workers are just like, "Why are you doing this?" They're not attacking us. Why are you killing them?
Capitalism.
They are really confused on why you said that. All right. Amanda. I mean, Debbie, you're up.
Debbie,
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just punching. I'm getting my punch on.
All right.
I don't even have to think about it. It's +1 average punches.
All right. You go up and you sort of like go up and you grab that core again, and this time instead of playing tug of war, you know that you won't be able to pull it out, so you just crush it while it's inside the elemental. And the workers just start sprinting past you at this point. They are terrified.
Yep, good idea. Bad things.
So you guys are out of combat now. I forgot where I was.
Can we check our iHunt?
Yes.
Yeah, do we get paid? We better have gotten paid.
It is still active.
That mean there's more of them?
Maybe inside
Possibly.
the building.
So you guys are at the end of the main brewery entrance where they do tours, and there's the big open doors that lead to the courtyard. Do you guys want to go back the way you came, or do you want to go through to the courtyard? Because there was elementals outside the building as well. Because you guys
Wherever more of them are that we can kill, let's go that way.
So you going back outside or through the big doors?
Let's go back outside to where the other ones were.
Okay. Upon getting outside, you see that everyone's outside just having a good time at this point.
There's no elementals out here anymore?
Nope.
So
they are setting up a stage. They're currently, getting a stage because there's supposed to be a concert tonight. But they're putting up the railings for it. Some of the vendors are sort of packing up their stuff. People are still hanging out, having a good time, enjoying their beverages. And it's still like that beam of light has stopped, but the area is sort of just glowing with energy at the top.
Is there any way to discern what could have caused the energy fluctuation from outside?
Not really. It's just a bunch of magical energy. It's a whole mix of it. Can't really tell what it is or what's going on unless you physically go there.
Maybe we should go there.
I think we should go there.
I'll race ya!
I've gone a lot of hunts, but why are we not paid yet? Also, this is my demon butler. It's my new best friend, and they're just gonna hang out with us, not fight. But why? That was a lot of money. I need that money.
Yeah, we all do. Job's not done yet.
You go to point at your butler, and he's not by your side.
Where's my demon butler, Nyx? Can I overcome this challenge of not knowing where my demon butler is and roll to find my demon butler?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What's Catherine?
Our party has magically lost a member.
You ran off with the demon butler. I knew it.
I was gonna say maybe we should conjure up some snacks from the demon butler. Maybe we need like a little like recap.
I rolled a 0 for mediocre. I don't know if you want to
Yeah,
continue.
at this point, none of them have lived long enough to physically attack any of you, so. Because they weren't able to get to you in time. What'd you roll? I'm sorry.
0 for mediocre. So mediocre.
You simply just didn't tell him to follow you.
But I told him, okay, so he's where I left him.
Yeah, he's just standing there.
So we'll just grab him on the way in.
He's doing like the Pulp Fiction.
Cool.
So before we go back into the brewery, let's see here. If you
Do we
guys would
wanna
like,
take a
Oh, sorry.
break.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
while
say.
Catherine. Oh, you got it.
We're gonna go ahead and take a break. So we'll see you guys in 10 minutes. So at 3:40 Eastern. Go away. I don't know if you're still there. Sorry, I should have given you notice. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Well, welcome back, everybody, or welcome back to us. And we have Chelsea's poem. I did forget it because I got a bit distracted, and Kristen is going to read it for us.
It's the grand finale of the Helpful Goat Pride Games, this past month filled with delightful adventures worthy of acclaim. So many stream debuts, laughter, and fantastic game moments galore. A gleaming celebration of LGBTQIA plus goats we love and adore. The biggest thank you to all the players, GMs, organizers, and tech ghosts of Pride 2022 with endless love, support, praise, and appreciation. I can see and hear you.
Thank you so much for that poem. As always, they are awesome and amazing, and we love you for them. And we're going to get back into it. Last we left, our party was heading back into the brewery, correct?
Yes.
Lena's demon was missing, or should I say, Katya's demon is missing. And all she knows is that she did not tell it to follow her. So here we go.
So is it like on the way in as we're going in?
Oh yeah, it's just sitting right where you left it.
Cool. Okay. As we're heading in, I'll be like, I am so sorry. I forgot that you can't do things right now very easily. I'm so sorry I forgot. You can come with us, but make sure you stay out of harm's way, okay? Because you are the priority here, not the rest of us.
Whenever you came back, it was just mopping up the area.
Thank you for helping out and cleaning. That's so nice of you.
All right. He just goes, "Ah, blah, blah, blah." You can't understand what he's saying. And then he just.
I get the impression that he can understand me, or is this just both sides are nonsense?
He can understand you.
Okay, cool.
So he just kind of like throws the mop up in the air and it just disappears.
Cool.
All right. So he is now following you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to the big doors to the courtyard. Yes, no? Or are we
Yes.
looking around exploring?
Nope. Do we see any elementals? I still can't say that.
Nope, all the kegs are busted. The only elementals that were in this room have been defeated.
Okay, I'm gonna punch my way through the doors into the next zone.
Okay. The doors being unlocked, they just swing open.
Punch.
In the courtyard, there's a bunch of rubble. There's a bunch of like lingering magic in the air. So you see like some like hues of blue and red and yellow, and it's just kind of like in a mist form, just swirling around the area. And you see straight ahead of you with a door that has been blown open with all the bricks open. You see a man in dark robes working and like throwing things around and mixing different things and like magically pulling liquid across the room.
I'd like to create an advantage and examine the situation for more details.
Okay.
Especially what this guy's doing.
Okay.
Me. +1 average.
You get a very strong smell of like alcohol. It's just coming through this direction. And the energy that's sort of circling around is sort of spiraling above you and coming down as a funnel into that room.
Could I, you said that there was some misty like magic that's floating around the room. Is there like any residues on like, I don't know, the floor or the that I can walk over? And do you know when they sort of...
So on the rubble that is around you, there are runes that once held energy that are sort of being sapped away, and they're part of this energy that's sort of swirling around the room and coming back down. And so that's what's happening currently. And there is nothing else in the courtyard but the rubble and the magical energy.
Could
Can I
I
create an
have
advantage?
What's up?
Can I create an advantage and go introduce myself to this guy?
Yes, you can. But there's one more thing that starts to happen. You see some imps start walking out, and they're carrying boxes. They look like they're sort of in a trance, and they're carrying boxes of like corn, barley, wheat, tomatoes. Like they're just carrying all this random ingredients of food, some monster parts, and they're just carrying them into this room. They're just marching in and out.
Do we know if the imps are part of the current quest?
They're just running things in and out of the room.
Are these the same imps that were disguised as baskets and dogs?
You have no idea because they all look the same,
Okay.
but they're not beat up. So
Are there any elemental?
nope, there are no elementals in the area.
We go talk to the guy who's currently mixing things to see if he's in a trance also.
Yeah, let me create an advantage. I want to introduce everyone to him and kind of like totes get everybody on a good footing with him.
Um, as you approach, he's like, "No, no, no! This is all wrong. This is garbage!" And he throws the glass on the ground, and he goes, "Tomatoes and peppers, corn," and he's just rambling like a madman. And werewolf's teeth, and bat wings. Yes, this will be good. And he's just mixing all these ingredients, and it's like creating so much energy, and it's kind of flowing out and then cycling back in over and over again. And he just keeps he's just, you feel like he's going insane.
Can we give him some of that elemental juice or whatever was currently being mopped up by the butler?
Yeah.
He just had a mop, so
Didn't he put some in his jacket?
only one of you knows that. That's why I was saying, like, you guys were focused on fighting.
Is this person an elemental? Are we supposed to kill them?
Currently,
Kristen,
you
your
just
cat
see
is so cute.
This is my
Yeah,
my
I'm
main
not.
cat.
I'm not paying attention to whatever's happening in the game. I'm just looking at this little fluff baby.
It's so cute.
This is Harriet.
Oh, Harriet is chewing on your mic cord.
Yeah,
Delicious.
she's a little imp for sure.
So all you see is him doing all this, and you are standing behind him, and he's just wearing his robe and cloak. So
Is there an exit to this room so that we can go
follow
find some elementals?
there is the roof that has been destroyed from the tower, and the entrance behind you, and some destroyed stairs that lead up to where the tower was destroyed.
The imps going? Which direction?
They're bringing him the reagents, and they're walking right past you back out to get more, and they just keep bringing it in and taking the empty boxes out.
If we try and stop them, what do they do? Like if we stand in their way or put like a hand on their shoulder?
They just kind of walk around you and just keep going, or they're trying to walk still. Like I said, they look like they're enthralled.
Could I pop my potion to talk to them?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to drink my special brew, and I want to try and engage them in conversation to ask them what they're doing. Yeah.
So the way you communicate with this brew is telepathically. And in doing so, you have sort of opened your mind up to theirs. And you start to feel very dizzy. Go ahead and make a roll.
-1 poor.
So you feel the compulsion to start picking up empty boxes and filling them with food.
Oh my
Close
gosh.
the door.
I'm gonna drink my bottle of brew that I've been keeping.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go to the guy in the cloak in the middle of the room and tell him, I heard a rumor that you told us where to find more elementals.
So he looks at you, and he's not old. He looks very young and very like handsome. Like he keeps up with himself. And he is wearing makeup. And he looks at you and says, "No, no, no, no. This is wrong." He goes, "Try this."
No. try the brew.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
The salsa brew.
Oh God. Fine. Just I will try the brew if you tell us where to find more elementals. Deal?
Yes, yes.
All right. Bottoms up. I drink it.
So based on what he put in it, it doesn't taste like salsa. It looked like salsa, but it doesn't taste like it. It tastes very sweet and savory, but there's something missing in it. You feel like it's not inclusive enough. That it's sort of missing. Like it's out of place.
Have you tried putting a little citrus to this or something? It needs something to brighten the flavor.
Ah, yes, yes. Lemons, oranges, limes, grapefruit.
Lime. Lime would be
And he
good.
just takes them. He takes a whole bunch of them and just crushes them in his hand.
Okay.
And he just keeps working.
Wait, where are the elementals? We had a deal.
So he just like waves his hand and some of them appear in the room.
Good enough.
You know what's happening now.
It's go time. Dollar, dollar, holler, holler.
Also, I forgot your influencer. You know this man to be Ezekiel.
Okay, I take so many selfies with him. 1 billion selfies with Ezekiel.
He's just walking around, not even paying attention.
Awesome. I will pose him and redirect the light so that he looks great. I look great. We look like we know each other. It'll be awesome.
He throws he mixes the citrus into the other one, and he throws it behind him because he didn't like it. And the elemental sort of the three that he made starts to kind of merge together and swell up into this giant red swirling bubbly elemental that's sort of like taking up half of the room, and it looks like it's sort of guarding him. And yeah, so that's good. What do you guys do?
Aim for the core.
You cannot see through this elemental.
Could I perhaps roll for figuring out its weakness based on my investigative prowess?
Knowing, I mean, you don't have to roll because knowing from the past experience with elementals and what Katya said, there is a core somewhere in it, but you just can't see it right now because it is full of chunks of food, tomatoes, peppers, lemons, limes, pieces of monsters, and it's just sort of swirling around in there. And the energy that was kind of coming down is sort of starting to funnel into it.
Is there any section of roof that I could potentially try to shoot to bring it down on it? Make the mass a bit smaller?
If you did that, you would put you and everyone at risk in the room. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. Oh, thank God. +3, good.
All right. So with your +3, you shoot a piece of the stairs down, and you hit it right on the weak point, and it collapses onto the elemental. And at this point, it was huge, like almost the size of a house. And this is a giant, like citadel sort of thing. So it was taking up most of the room at this point. And it collapses and it washes everyone in the room away. You can resist this, but you'll have to roll for it. Or you can just go with the flow.
I'm going to try and grab something with my. Have I still got my big fists?
No, it's been an hour.
I'll just go with the flow.
Also,
then.
Brad does not have their wings anymore. Katya has about 30 minutes left on their demon. And Becca still has almost their entire duration on theirs. And Debbie's is expired.
Do I feel like we're going to drown or anything? Can my last thoughts be of Nightmare and start a slow monologue?
If you would like to think that you're dying, you can, but you are just being flooded out into the courtyard.
I think I would try to narrate something
Okay.
along the lines of Nightmare. Our chance meeting was brief, but one day I will get you onto the skyline and of the city from a viewpoint that is not seen by the likes of many. We will share a tender moment, but I will walk away because our paths are not meant for that.
All right, good. Anyone else trying to grab onto anything?
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie, sorry. Debbie was trying to grab on something. What was your role?
Well, if I don't have my big fists, then I won't grab onto something. But I think I'll try and backflip to do a superhero landing, to make it look slightly cooler. But I only got a -1 paw, so probably I didn't.
You
do
get
it.
flushed out into the courtyard, but you're not going to take any damage. All right, anyone else?
Yeah,
you guys
I want to
just-
try and hook onto something with my warhammer.
Okay.
And keep from getting flushed out.
Go ahead.
+2 fair.
All right, you sort of you kind of like right where the stairs start, you just take your warhammer and you hit right between two stones, and you're just bracing the impact of it, and you hold your breath.
Nice.
All right. Anyone else?
Katya's just gonna go with the flow. She's just gonna be like, "Oh, this is kind of weird. Come on, demon friend. We're gonna go water."
Your demon friend actually pulls out like a little bottle of bubbles, goes like this, and then he goes up to you and holds it.
Is this for me?
It's like a little bubble wand. He wants you to blow on it. He's like, he's going.
I'll blow on it.
So it creates a little bubble field around you and prevents you from getting knocked out.
Oh, thank you, demon buddy. I'll make sure you're safe too. You're the most important thing in the world now.
He picks up his watch and then says, and then he waves at you and goes, poof.
No. Bye, demon buddy. I'll see you again someday.
All right. So, Brad got washed out. Amanda got washed out. What did Becca do?
Becca used her ring light to try to hook on to something, and I rolled a +2.
Okay, you hook onto something. Sophia's inside and Katya is inside. Okay. So, all the water that would have flooded towards Ezekiel stopped, like right at him, as if there was like a wall there. Actually, Becca wouldn't have gotten washed away either because you're right next to him. So what do you guys do now?
So those of us who got washed away, where are we?
You're outside in the courtyard with
Okay.
with all the liquid on the ground.
Are there
The
any?
courtyard-
Sorry.
Are there any elementals around us?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yeah.
Is this the area with the actual Pride festival going on?
No, you're in the courtyard inside the brewery. The festival is happening like outside in the park, right in front of it. So those of you that are outside in the courtyard, you're kind of on the ground, kind of covered in the ale, and you're like, and all the liquid on the ground and sort of what somewhat's on you starts to draw into a central location. And at this point, you see the core, which is about the size of a like a globe, like a globe you would see in school, and it starts to swirl around it, and it's starting to reform itself.
Quick, shoot the core.
All right. If you guys are going back into combat, it's going to start with Brad again.
Try and shoot it while it's trying to suck me up, I suppose.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
+2 fair?
All right. You do shoot it, and you shoot it with your magic bullets, and it takes a chip off the side. You get the feeling that this core is much stronger than any of the others that you had taken out earlier.
Okay.
All right.
Shall I let everyone else know that the core is much more dense?
Yeah, if you want to.
Guys, it's a lot more dense than the previous ones that we faced. We're gonna have to rally up and hit it with everything we got. Otherwise, before this thing reforms, otherwise we're gonna lose where the core is, and it may even regenerate the core.
So, you want me to punch it? I punch it.
Punch away.
As you guys start fighting it, you start to see it's taking in more energy from outside, from all the magic. And going off of what Lena said earlier, that's public knowledge. The only way you can kill the elementals is by destroying the core, using magic against it to sort of deteriorate it and like get rid of it, or by stopping the source of it.
And I'm in the other room with Ezekiel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I try and create an advantage and go up and try and convince him to stop what he's doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I roll a +2 fair.
He turns to you, or what do you want to say to him?
I want to tell him that okay. Ezekiel, what are you doing? You're just making everything worse. You've got to stop now.
I gotta make the perfect brew. It is pride. I need to make the perfect one, or everyone will not like it.
Tell him that everyone loves. I'm going to tell him that everyone loves the concert that's going to be going on outside, and that everyone's having a great time, and that they've already got great brews.
And he stops and he pauses for a moment. And he thinks. Everything was unique on its own. I don't have to make one that's perfect because they're all perfect in their own way. But I can't control that. So he attempts to sort of shoot the elemental with a bunch of energy, with a bunch of magic. And he didn't realize while mixing up everything and throwing it on the floor that this thing has become sort of sentient, and it is just absorbing as much magic as it can.
Oh no.
So he takes every little bit that he has left because he's been spending all of his magic the entire day trying to make this thing. Just to give you the frame of reference for how much magic this guy had, that's what blew the top of this roof, was him him using up a lot of his magic to make the brew. Also, Ezekiel's last name is Merlin. Had to tie that in there. So he shoots it with magic, and it sort of knocks it way back. It shoots through the brewery, but it stops, and you can see it in the distance starting to grow even bigger because of all the magic he just shot into it. And he goes, "That's not good." And he sort of just falls on one knee. He goes, "You have to stop it." And he's just extremely exhausted at this point.
How, Ezekiel? How?
How
I shake his
much?
shoulder.
How much, Ezekiel? What are you paying us?
We don't know it's Ezekiel.
And he passes out.
Cool. Infinite money, I guess. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's what being unconscious means.
All right. So we're gonna go fight, or we're gonna turn tail and run?
Well, is on our iHunt app, is the kill all the elementals 10,000 job still good?
Yep.
So we're
Still
still getting
active.
paid 10,000.
And it's at a very high alert status.
Oh yeah, no shit.
It is calling additional hunters in.
Hey, no, this is our wait. Is it $10,000 per person? We have to split it. Because if we have to split it, this is our money.
Yeah, it is split between you. It is a team you guys formed. And if you're not the team that kills it, you guys do not get the money.
Oh.
Yeah,
Even if you
okay.
killed all the rest of them, whoever kills the final one gets it.
We'll do this, and then we can bully Ezekiel into paying us more as well.
All right.
He seems pretty pathetic.
So we're trying to fight, and we're trying to fight efficiently.
Yeah.
Yep. So let me know when you guys get outside. You guys can talk amongst yourself.
Can we re-roll initiative, or do we have to keep going in the same order?
We can re-roll it.
Is there anything that we can do, like, before we get in?
Like,
can I, like, create an advantage by, like, I don't know, something fighting? Because we know that we're going into a fight. We know that this is a big thing. Like, did Ezekiel drop his magic wand or something so I can jab the thing in the eye with it? I don't know.
You can search his person if you want. Just roll for me.
Okay.
Actually, gotta pull up his loot real quick. Because I wasn't
+1
sure if you were
average.
gonna fight him or not.
So +1 average.
You will find a pair of gloves on him with sort of like some runes etched in, but they will give you a +1 on attacking.
Gloves. Yeah, whack
Mhm.
them on. I'm ready.
You also find a bluish crystal, and you also find a what are they called? I just wrote the beer cup. The Stein?
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, a Stein. You have no idea what the crystal and Stein will do because they're just kind of there.
Can I tell what it does with my occultistness? That's
Yep.
the word.
Your cultistness, yes.
Okay.
You know about the crystal? The crystal is like an anti-magic zone crystal. If you shatter it, it'll create a small zone about 10 feet or so that will prevent like magical attacks, and you can't use any magic inside of it. Be wary while using this, your iHunt app will be offline. You will have 0 protection from the iHunt app.
And do I know what the Stein is, or is that kind of outside my expertise?
There's nothing in it, and it's kind of just chilling, just a sign
Okay.
to mostly everybody.
I think that's just a cup. I don't know. But the crystal, if we smash it, will create an anti-magic zone for a little while. It will also take our apps offline, but maybe that can help in the fight.
Maybe we could throw the crystal and Mike could shoot it and it hits the blob.
Wait, so if magic attacks hurt the things, what does anti-magic do to them?
Magic attacks fuel the thing.
No, magic attacks is how we can hurt them. We can't hurt them without magic attacks.
Certainly not this one, as he
No.
said.
Oh.
As what's been happening, it's been sucking up all the magic. It's been the elemental has been altered beyond all recognition because of everything that Merlin or everything that Ezekiel has done.
Well, I'm glad I'm playing the debts because I totally missed that. Okay, cool.
It sounds like this thing could maybe allow us like a short window of opportunity to actually do damage to this thing. Maybe we should like throw it into the elemental and have Mike shoot it or something.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can put it
Definitely.
inside the cup. It's made of ale, right? Like
Cup
trap
is
it in
not
the
made
cup
of
like a
ale?
genie. No, the cup's not made of ale. The monster.
Oh, you want to
drinks
put
the
the monster
elemental.
in the stein?
Yeah, like trap it like a genie. I think we just lost Mike.
Yeah, we
Oh
did.
yeah, we did.
Oh yeah. How big is the core at this point for this elemental? Is it like larger than the Stein?
The last time you saw it, it was about the size of like a globe you would find in a classroom.
Okay.
Okay, that's big enough. Yeah. Okay. I suggest we anti-magic the thing. You guys stay out of the anti-magic zone, and I'll punch on. And you guys need to chuck stuff at it from a distance, because otherwise, you're all going to be in the no protection from iHunt. And I'm a fighter. I'm definitely up for that. That's fine. I'm brave. No worries.
While you guys are talking, the elemental is now towering over one of the walls, and you can kind of see it from the courtyard where you're standing.
And so sooner rather than later is the way to go. Okay, give me the crystal thing, and I'm gonna run and like punch myself into the middle of the thing and smash the crystal.
And you sort of see the spotlights that are going on. The party has started. It is now like 8 or 9 p.m.
Time
The party
flies.
has started outside, and you kind of hear the rumbling of the music.
Do we need to roll initiative at this point?
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and roll initiative.
Cool. I'm going to use Discord this time. I totally know how.
Oh, yeah. A 13.
11.
8.
I rolled a 19.
Roll for me.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can.
you can do it in Discord. If you go to the channel, you can see the command.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want my roll.
Question mark roll, then space D20.
18.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, so Katya is gonna go.
Katya is not who should be going first. So Amanda has Amanda thrown the crystal, or does Amanda still have the crystal?
I think Amanda has the crystal. You
Okay,
guys were in
so
the
we can have
courtyard, sort of convening, and then I think Amanda started charging.
With the crystal.
Okay. Katya is not the charging type, so trying to think of something I could do to help create an advantage instead.
Not yet.
Can I basically try to figure out which type of our attacks would be most effective against it once the anti-magic zone is up?
Physical attacks to its core.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of call that to everybody and then stay near it,
All right.
but not so near that I'm in range of getting hit, hopefully.
As you guys get outside, the party is jumping, it's hopping. Nobody seems to notice the elemental, and they're all partying and having a good time. Up on stage, you see a familiar face. It's the DJ. It is Nymera. And she goes, "This one goes out to my eye hunters. I hope you have fun with the task I set for you." And then she changes up the music and it starts playing. Let's see here. Go away if you want to start the music. I'm sorry. Okay.
We can't hear it because we can't hear stream.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
it's like some battle music. I'm sorry, but
No, you're good.
So she has started the party, and there is a massive elemental ready to fight you.
Terrifying.
I'm gonna punch it.
So my turn was getting near the terrifying, massive elemental and calling to people that physical attacks might be most effective. So I think I'm done with mine.
All right. Sophia.
Let's see. And what is around the elemental at this point? You said it was towering over, kind of over the courtyard wall.
You guys are outside now at the party.
Yeah.
So it's literally standing there looking over the crowd. There's people dancing around you, and they don't seem to notice what's going on.
Okay. I want to. Let's see. Maybe I can. Can I throw my warhammer at it?
Yeah.
Do I Can I see the core?
No.
I can't.
You can try and guess where it is with a disadvantage. You also have the ability to cleave into it with your weapon.
Okay, I'm just gonna rush up and cleave into it with my warhammer, and say I'm gonna yell for the money, as I charge. And I get a +1 average.
So you sort of cleave into it, and as you do it, you kind of do it a little upwards, and you see that the core is literally in the center, but it has grown much larger. But it does regenerate almost as fast as you cut into it. Amanda.
I would like to punch it and smash the crystal in it.
Okay.
So like punch both my fists in and
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
+2, fair.
Okay, with your gloves, you're gonna go up to it, and when you punch into it, you sort of blow away all the liquid that was around the core, and you look at the core and you go to like, you think you're gonna grab it and crush it, and you're like, oh no, this is much bigger now. And it is like the size, it's about 3 times the size of your body. And you're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going straight with my fist. And as you're doing that, you sort of send cracks around it. And that kind of destabilizes the elemental, and it starts to like lose its size, sort of.
Cool.
Catherine? Or Becca?
So Becca heard the tip that it should be better for the physical hits now. But she's gonna throw her her ring light at the center to try to hit the core.
Right.
And that's gonna be a -1 pour.
So you throw your chakram, and it sort of hits the liquid, and then slowly starts to fall down inside of it to the
No,
ground.
my ring light.
And then Brad.
So immediately see that Nightmare is the DJ, and my eyes lock with that direction. As I kind of want to be sort of pulled between 2 directions. I want to sort of start approaching Nightmare while also sort of on the side trying to shoot at the central mass as I walk past.
Okay. You feel as the elemental is more deserving of your attention. I rolled for her charm. It didn't go too well, so. So yeah, you figure out the elemental is more your thing. Go ahead and roll for your attack.
-3.
You just sort
Really,
of go,
I'm still thinking.
you just go to shoot it, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get this thing. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna shoot that core, and you end up shooting just a little bit too much magic into it, and it sort of just sucks it up.
Sorry, guys.
And back to Katya. Actually, no, it's its turn to attack. I lied. With Amanda now at the bottom of it, it is going to attack Amanda. And it's going to make like a fist sort of thing, and it's going to slam down with a lot of pressure. You do have a chance to resist this, if you would like to roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna like forwards roll out of the way like a superhero.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
No, -2, terrible.
So you get a little dizzy and lightheaded from it just knocking you to the ground and putting up like if you're like at the bottom of a pool, and you're just like So you're just on the ground in front of it.
So is this a moderate physical consequence? Because one of my fighter stunts is that I can reduce a moderate physical consequence to a mild one.
Yeah. So instead of being on the ground really dizzy, you're just sort of staggered a little bit. You're still standing. All right, Katya.
Okay, so I just saw Amanda get hella smashed by this thing. Although she looks okay. I don't like that. I don't actually have like ranged weapons or anything, so I'm just gonna, I guess, chuck one of my hand crystals real hard at its core and try to smash it up some.
All right.
I rolled a -1. Poor.
So you're sort of just like, shit.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that was poor. That was, weak. But okay. I guess that's my go. I'm staying out of like what I think its range is.
Okay. Kristen.
Is the core like exposed, or has the goop like
No.
formed back around it?
It healed the second that you hit it. It keeps trying to cover it up, so.
Okay. Is Amanda like covered? Like, is she currently being flattened by like the hand?
No, it kind of went like this, and all the liquid kind of washed away and got sucked back up.
Okay. I would like to. I'd like to create an advantage and look around for something useful in the environment.
Currently around you, there is the stalls that have been packed up, the people, and the person on the DJ on stage.
Okay. I'd like to check the stalls for something useful.
Okay. Give me a roll.
+2 fair.
Wait a second. Oh, I rolled so bad. You find a hunter stall. They have packed up their bags. You sort of ruffle through them, and you're gonna find a bow, arrows, and also like a morning star.
I would like to take the bow and give it to Brad.
Okay.
And I think I want to take the morning star and give it to Katya.
Yay!
Okay.
And can I still do an attack?
Not gonna do an attack on that one because you did quite a bit there.
Okay, all right. I'm good with that.
Amanda.
So when I punched it before and I cracked the anti-magic crystal inside of it, did that have any effect on it?
Oh, you crushed the crystal inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It just made like an opening around it.
Okay.
But
So
then
I
it
want
kind
to
of.
punch it in its opening.
Okay. It closed back up.
Sorry.
It closed.
Jesus Christ, Debbie.
Look, in the worst words.
It did close back up because it only lasts for a few seconds. So it is covered back up again. You did hit it with enough force last time just to blow it away, so.
Okay, so can I punch it where its opening was?
Yeah. You all know
Lena,
where the core is.
I see your face. I want to punch it in its core. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
It's much better.
Thank you, Your Honor. In the court transcripts of this conversation, I will not be held responsible for the words that come out of my mouth. All right. -1 paw.
You go up to punch it, and you do stick like you go like you put your hands into
I
it.
get +1 for my gloves.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So you sort of punch into it. You feel the core. You make contact with it, but you did not hit it with enough force to do anything. But it's definitely still right there. All right. Catherine or Rebecca. Sorry.
That's cool. I can't
It's
remember.
because I have the names right there, and then I have the character names.
I need to dive into the water soda goo stuff to retrieve my ring light.
Okay.
Do I have to roll for that?
Yes.
Damn it. +1 average.
All right. You get in there, and you're swimming around looking for it.
That's where we're gonna leave that. Just
Yep.
Cool.
You're holding your breath. You're in there swimming around. You feel the bubbles on your skin. There's like chunks of food and stuff in there, and like the monster parts are in there.
Lumpy. I hate it.
I hate it too. At
All
least
right.
my ring light will be easy to find because it's so bright.
Yep. And then Brad.
So I now have the bow. Is it a small bow? Would we compare it to like a hand crossbow, or are we going like the big bow?
It's a compact bow.
Okay, so in theory, I could have the bow in my left hand and my revolver in my right hand?
How are you gonna shoot the bow?
Sorry, was that no, I can only shoot the bow, or how am I
How are you gonna shoot the bow?
because I would cock it, get it ready, and then hold it in my left hand. And then revolver in the right, and dual wield.
You go in like hand crossbow, basically.
It's not a crossbow. It's a compact bow.
Like a hunting bow.
Right,
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
sorry.
yeah.
Right, okay.
It's like a modern hunting bow.
In which case, do I believe that these arrows are magical in any way?
Oh yeah. They are rune tip arrows.
Oh, hell yes. So, essentially, I would like to put notch 3 arrows and fire at the central mass as I sort of casually look over in a dark and brooding way to Nightmare.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Oh, it's compound bow. I'm sorry.
-1 paw.
You shoot the arrow and it just kind of passes through. The Nightmare is just like playing music, having a good time, not paying any attention. All right. It is its turn to attack again. And Becca, go ahead and roll for me.
-3.
Okay.
And that's how I died.
So it starts to churn around inside of it, and you sort of get sucked up into like a whirlpool inside, and it shoots you out, and you kind of just smack into the wall, and you just slide down, and you're incapacitated.
Shit.
Oh no! How can we incapacitate you?
I
Is
rolled
that
a
the
+3 for the attack. You rolled a -3.
Oh my god.
Of course.
Oh,
How
These
does
rolls
incapacitation
suck.
work in this? Is there like something we can do for
some
healing,
cold
or is it just something that wears off?
Just around.
Okay, cool.
That sucks.
All right.
Sorry, Goy's just put in the chat, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And all I can imagine is me punching Becca in the face. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Which obviously isn't going to help.
All right,
Obviously.
Obviously.
Katya.
These are good decisions. Yeah.
Not the money maker.
I blame Goy.
Oh.
All right, it
Um,
is-
I'm gonna stare at the morning star that Sophia handed me and be like, and stare up at the monster, really trying to consider if I want to get that close to it. But I do see that Becca has been seriously injured, and that kind of galvanizes me a little. Not because it's good that she got injured, because it's not good. So I'm gonna run.
roll for me real
towards the
quick.
monster.
Just make a roll for me real quick.
Okay. -1.
All right. You notice that there's something special about the Morning Star, but you're not quite sure what it is yet.
Can I use my action to make another roll to figure out what it is, to create an advantage to figure out what it is?
Yes.
-2?
Nope. Don't know.
Okay. I guess that's my turn though, because that was my action still, even if I failed, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I'm just standing there staring at my morning star instead of helping. That's my turn.
All right, and Kristen.
Okay. Okay. Since I am an influencer, I want to kind of let's see. Can I?
You're socialite,
Potentially.
right?
Yeah. Socialite. Since I'm a socialite, could I potentially try and convince Nightmare to help us?
Sure.
Okay, I want to rush up to the stage, and I'm covered in goop at this point.
Roll.
Probably.
Roll for me.
Okay. +2 fair.
Okay. As you get close to the stage, you kind of feel something odd, but you kind of shake it off.
Okay, I rush up to the stage. I'm covered in goop, and I'm like, Nightmare, you have to help us. It's too big to take on with all of us.
She's just up there vibing, dancing around. You do notice that she's not what she seems a little bit. You kind of take a proper look at her. She has horns, and her eyes are pitch black. But she's still dancing and having a good time, just completely ignoring you. Anything else?
Can I try and create an advantage by commenting on her beautiful horns?
Next turn you can.
Okay.
Because you did walk out, you did run up there and walk up to her, so.
Okay.
I see it on the lot. Amanda. Debbie.
Sorry?
Oh, it's your turn.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I thought you were
Okay.
thinking.
Oh no.
I'm going to punch it. I'm a
Okay.
fighter. There's literally nothing else I can do.
Punch it real hard.
Yep. Hey! Punched it real hard. I punched it +4 great hards.
All right. So you sort of run up to it again and you jump up and you do your whole fist thing. You punch through the liquid and the force that you send through it blows it back and you shatter the core.
Yay!
Dive through 2 fists into the core like a little corkscrew.
And the elemental just evaporates.
All it took was one good roll, gang. We made 4 billion bad rolls.
The core was a +8, so an 8 damage in total. And I rolled a really negative roll when you hit it the first time. So, all right. So the party's going on. Pride flags everywhere. Everyone's having a good time. And Nymeira's on stage with demon horns, black eyes.
Paid?
Yes, you all got paid. You've all got paid your
Nice.
10 grand.
Am I still unconscious?
You also got paid your 2 grand for the. Yes, you're still unconscious. No,
The
you're not
security.
unconscious. You also got paid your 2 grand for security, so you got 12,000 to split between you.
All right. Question. The demon lady with horns. Are demons always bad? Or might she be good?
So she is a known demon. Now that you know, your socialite and your influencers sort of research her some more. She is a known demon. She is a DJ. She is a world renowned DJ, and the thing is she puts on amazing shows that everyone enjoys and has fun at. But the reward for her, she doesn't take money as payment. She takes energy as payment.
Just like in Sailor Moon, it's the Negaverse.
But only
So,
the
she-
Negaverse is like really hot.
So she enjoys partying and the energy that comes from it. And there is no energy that can ever compare to a party that is a pride party.
True that.
And the moral of the game, if you guys, I know some of you caught it earlier, was everyone is unique in their own way. Just like Ezekiel tried to make the perfect brew. All of his brews have been perfect all along, and he is everything is perfect in their own way. And just love yourself and what you have. And that is the end of iHunt.
Yay!
That was really fun, Nix. This was a lot of fun.
Glad
Also,
everyone
It
enjoyed
was
it.
brutal and we suck at rolling, but it was a lot
Oh
of fun.
yeah.
Well, the actual game, you have a bunch of more additives to your rolls, because there are things like there's actually if you guys look into this game, there is an action called a kink. It is not anything for 18 plus, but it is a ability type, and there's a bunch of different rules that are get involved. But for the one shot, we use these quick little rule sheets for individual character types. But I'm glad you guys had fun. It was really fun DMing it, considering how things have been going for me lately. It's been great DMing with you, playing with you. This entire month has been great with all the games that I got to watch. I love you guys so much, and I love the audience, and I appreciate you guys watching. You guys have anything you want to say?
I love the secondary moral of the story of capitalism making people do stupid things. Because that was definitely a moral here. That was a main takeaway.
Morals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sure.
if I decide to do proper games and they end up doing streamed here on Helpful Goat or my personal stream, it does get very dark. So don't know if it's Helpful Goat friendly, because it does play into some real world problems and a lot of problems that we face as our generation.
Because capitalism sucks.
Our
Yeah.
Fire stream is really dark like
Hot
that too.
take.
We just use a content warning, and make sure to have the content warning on the overlay so people know what they're getting into if they're watching it.
So I'm glad you guys enjoyed. In the future, I hope to plan one out when I have more time. But yeah.
That was so
It was
fun.
a
Thanks,
lot of fun.
players. Thanks so much, Nix.
Thank you. I just have one quick question as well. If whether Brad managed to get actually Nightmare's number, because there was only a musical note on a card.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Come on, don't roll shit.
The way we've been
Don't roll
rolling.
shit.
Oh my god.
-2, terrible.
Oh.
She goes up to you and she goes, "I was just playing with you, doll. I'll see you around."
His heart shatters and he spends every night at the top of the Empire State Building in the pouring rain.
Oh god. Oh god. It's his origin story. He becomes some cool vengeance thing.
I'm Brad the Elemental Slayer.
It's like shouting
would be
like
so cool.
into the wind.
Also, I got the idea of elementals from because I play WoW, and Mr. Pandaria expansion, there is a whole brewery that there's just a bunch of
Nice.
elementals. And one of them are like drunk, they're like spirits, and they're like, "What are you doing with our elementals?"
Nice.
So
Nice.
anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you. I think I don't know if Galway has anything else he wants to say before we head out.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who GM'd. Nix, Nell, Elise, Chris. That was everyone, right? Elise twice. Chris once, Nell once, Nix once. My memory is... Time is strange soup, and my brain is following right along with that. Thank you to everybody who is who GM'd. Thank you so much to everyone who played. Thank you so much to everyone who watched. Welcome to a bunch of people who made Helpful Goat debuts. It is, as always, one of our favorite times of the year. We get this and we get Halloween streams, which are always so much fun. Hope to see everybody who played or GM'd this month back in more stuff. And yeah, from all of us here at Helpful Goat, be safe, be well, be proud, take care of yourselves and of each other. Love y'all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.